It's funny. We spend so much time and energy obsessing over kitchens and bathrooms when we're selling a home. But what if I told you the most critical sales pitch happens before a buyer even gets out of their car? Well, today we're going to break down the powerful and honestly often underestimated financial impact of a home's very first impression.
Okay, so this is the heart of it all. Just think about a handshake for a second. It can be firm, confident, or it can be kind of weak and forgettable, right? Your home's exterior does the exact same thing. It's that first greeting that sets the entire tone for everything a buyer is about to see. It shapes their expectations from that very first glance.
So I want you to think about your own home right now. Seriously, what is its handshake communicating? Is it welcoming? Does it signal, hey, this place is cared for, it's quality? Or does it kind of hint at neglect, maybe some problems to come? You got to know, potential buyers answer that question in a split second, and their answer determines everything that happens next.
To really get why this matters so much, we have to dive into the psychology of how buyers are actually searching for homes these days. It all boils down to this one critical moment that happens right at the curb.
Here it is, the key term you need to know, the drive-by decision. In today's competitive markets, buyers will literally cruise through neighborhoods, making a short list of homes before they ever even call an agent. And they are making snap judgments in seconds. Your home either passes this test and gets on that must-see list, or, well, it gets left behind in the dust.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because this all taps into some fascinating subconscious messaging. See, a cared-for exterior, it doesn't just look nice. It signals trust. It tells a buyer, the owners here, they paid attention to detail. But a tired exterior, that does the exact opposite. It plants this little seed of doubt, raises red flags about what else might be wrong, and it directly crushes that home's perceived value right from the start.
All right, so what if your home's handshake is feeling a little weak? How do you fix it? The good news is you absolutely do not need a massive, expensive renovation. It really just comes down to a focused, three-step checklist that can deliver a huge return on your investment.
So we're going to break it down into these three core areas. Think of them as the building blocks for creating that perfect first impression. You've got the overall look of the structure itself, the frame that the landscaping provides, and then that final welcoming focal point, the entryway. First up, let's talk about surfaces. Look, a crisp coat of paint is probably one of the best investments you can make. It immediately screams that a home is well kept. Power washing? That's a low-cost, super high-impact way to just blast away years of grime. And that bold front door? Well, that acts as a confident focal point, drawing the buyer's eye and basically welcoming them right in.
Next, landscaping. And listen, the goal here is not to create some kind of botanical garden, okay? The goal is simply to look cared for. Trimmed shrubs, neatly edged walkways, and a fresh layer of mulch, all of that creates this tidy, trustworthy frame for the home. It just looks clean, it looks intentional, and it absolutely screams pride of ownership.
And finally, we have the entryway. This is where the smallest details can make a gigantic difference. An updated light fixture, a brand new doormat, maybe a simple seasonal plant. These little things guide the buyer's eye right to the front door and make them feel welcome before they've even had a chance to ring the bell.
So all this theory sounds good, right? But does it actually work in the real world? Oh yeah. Let's look at a case study from Raynham, Massachusetts that proves just how powerful these small changes can really be. So here's the situation. A fantastic home on the inside. I mean, really great. But it sat on a busy street, and the exterior just looked tired. For weeks, nothing. Not a single showing. You can just picture it. Buyers were making that drive-by decision and immediately ruling it out, never even seeing all the great stuff it had to offer inside. Now, the fix wasn't some massive overhaul. It was just one weekend spent doing the exact checklist we just talked about. They put down fresh mulch, they trimmed the shrubs, they put in a new entry light, and they painted the front door a bold, inviting color. Simple. And the result? It was immediate and it was dramatic. Showings started booking up within days. That home that had been totally ignored for weeks, it quickly went under agreement. It's just a perfect, real-world example of how a stronger handshake can completely change a home's entire story.
So let's tie this all together and talk about the real payoff. Because this isn't just about making your house look pretty. This is a strategic financial move. Let's call it your return on impression. So here's the formula, plain and simple. A strong first impression creates a positive mindset from the get-go. That builds a buyer's confidence and lowers their guard. This increased interest naturally leads to more showings, and in real estate, more showings create competition, which almost always leads to stronger offers and, you guessed it, a higher final price.
So, I'll just leave you with this. Your home has exactly one chance to make a first impression. Just one handshake to offer every single potential buyer that drives by. The real question is, are you making it count?